Greetings to you, my viewers. Well, the federal government of Nigeria has finally succeeded in a way, to make ASUU go back to the class. Has succeeded in a way by having a judgment from the Industrial Court of Nigeria to get ASUU back to the class to start working. I am not happy. I'm not optimistic about this process. Do you force workers to go back to work, or do you try to use the legal system to get workers back to work? As they used to say, you could force a horse to the river, but you can't force the horse to drink. The federal government thinks it has succeeded by getting a judgment from the court to get ASUU back to work. What about they go to the school or they go to the different universities they're from and they decide to teach rubbish? Of course, most of them wouldn't do that because they have reputation, they're academics. But do you ever give a thought that such things could happen? Even if it is just amongst few of them that are angry, that they don't teach or lecture what they ought to lecture or teach the right way. How does that benefit the country you are superintending over? How does that benefit the country you are leading? You force them back to work, you use every means, and finally, you seem to have succeeded legally to get them back to work. What if they get there and they don't work the way they're supposed to work? Are you going to monitor them? Even if you go and monitor them, do you think you have the capacity, the capability, or anything to do anything about it? This is where the federal government of Nigeria doesn't really care about students. This is where the federal government of Nigeria doesn't really care about the educational system in Nigeria. Because they themselves know they don't care. Because if they cared, they would have thought it wise to say, for the academic staff to produce their best in Nigeria, they must be happy. It's one thing for us to force them back to work or to use the legal system to get them back to work. But if they are not happy, they are not going to give their best. So the legal route will not be necessary, because that will amount to forcing them back to work and them not being happy. And they can't give their best to the students. They can't give their best to the country, Nigeria. So let's try as much as possible to do our best for them. That will make them to be happy. So that when they go back to the class, they will do their work with happiness. They will do their work with joy. And it will rub off on students and largely rub off on Nigeria as a country. You see why I keep saying that Nigerian government does not care about the educational sector? You see why I keep saying that they don't care about the education in Nigeria? They don't care about the students in Nigeria? A serious government, even though might think that going to the court, it will succeed. But behind or at the back of his mind, it will think that, even if I succeed there, these people cannot work with happiness. So what is the use? Forcing them back to the class where they will not, teach with all their mind. Instead, let's just settle this amicably that will make them happy so that they can give their best to the students. That is what a serious government would do. I tell you, it's not over. You see, this is why ASUU keeps going back to strike. This is why ASUU keeps going back on strike. Because when the federal government is seeking for a solution, it does not seek for a solution that is long-lasting. This is why anytime the federal government of Nigeria resolves the ASUU strike or says it has resolved ASUU strike, they don't really do it to last for long because it is half and half measures. They don't resolve it so that there wouldn't be strike for a long time, so that the academic staff will not have any reason to go on strike. They always resolve it half-heartedly, half-heartedly in piecemeals, so that any little time ASUU will go back on strike again. This is why our education is disjointed, because they don't resolve it to the root. They only just cut off the branches. They don't go to the root of the problem. They don't go to the root of the problem. They only just cut off the branches. Before you know, the branches come up again. That is the problem of ASUU, because the government is not ready to solve their problems permanently. Although ASUU has said that they are appealing the judgment, ASUU that will be appealing a judgment. What is the mind behind appealing a judgment? That means what the government has done to them is wrong. What the government has done to them, they don't like it. With that kind of heart, you want them to go and be teaching students. And you think you want the best for the students. When the workers, the academic staff that are to teach them, are not happy being there in the first place. Do you really love the students like that? Federal government? No, you don't. You're only paying lip service. The last has not been heard in this matter. My hope is just that this matter should be resolved amicably to the satisfaction of academic staff union. That is my opinion. I just hope that this matter should be resolved amicably so that the academic staff will be happy to go back to work and not coerced to go back to work through enemies. My viewers, that's my thought on that. If you like my videos, please subscribe, share my videos and comment on them, and don't forget to hit the notification button so that anytime I make a video, you'll be the first one or one of the first to know and to watch. Thank you very much. Bye.